Welcome back to Blind Man Morrison. Today it's all about water pumps. So here we have the later water pump. We're all familiar with this. I've probably done loads of videos on this water pump, removing it where it is. They're really common, easy to get hold of, only about 20 or 30 quid. And that's where that is. But we're going to step back in time and have a look at the other types of water pump you will find on a Morris, even the very early ones that were fixed aftermarket on the MM. So let's go and have a look. So here we are at the Series 2, and this water pump differs greatly from the later water pumps. First off, it's a cast water pump, and the fan blade and the pulley attaches to the shaft of the water pump on this threaded shaft here, and it's tightened up with a big bolt. I don't know if you can see that on my fingers pointing there.
Yep.
On the end there. So it's not the 4 retaining bolts that hold the fan to the pulley to the end of the water pump shaft. It's actually this big nut here which attaches it all the way through, and under that pulley is a key weight or woodruff key, and the pulley slides onto it, and then it all locks down together when this nut's tightened. It's a cast water pump. They're not that easy to get hold of. You can get pattern parts for this type of water pump. I think it's a bit hit and miss whether they're good or not. I think some of them last a long time. It's probably batch dependent. Some of them don't last very long at all. So if you can get an old new stock water pump for your 803 Series 2, get one, because they're hen's teeth.
I think the MOC sell them, and
They do.
think they're about £75 from the
Oh,
club.
well, that's not too bad.
And I think they're way over £100.
150, I think.
Something like that,
Yeah,
if
for
you get a pattern part.
Yeah. And as you can see, this one's got a grease nipple on the back to lubricate the bearings in the back of the water pump. So if you wanted to remove this water pump, you would have to remove the radiator first. So you need to drain your coolant, take off these hoses either side, undo the retaining nuts which hold the radiator in, and pull your radiator out of the way, and that will give you the space then to undo this big nut. You're going to need to hold on to the fan blade there, or use a steady bar bolt across these 2 bolts here to hold it still, and shock this nut off. Once that's shocked off, you probably might need to we've got to remove the fan belt, don't forget, and then you knock that pulley off after you've removed the fan belt, using a wooden block normally, just to tap it off because it's probably tight in there. And then you can get to the 4 retaining nuts on studs there which hold it into the block, and then you can replace it. Hopefully we won't need to do that on this one, because that would be really annoying.
But it's certainly something to consider, because there's a huge difference in price. I mean, you're talking about £50 difference if you get one from the club, or £100 plus difference if you get a pattern one. A pattern one, just so you know, it doesn't have a grease nipple.
No, they're sealed for life units.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a good thing. But
It's not.
It doesn't have a grease
it's
nipple.
not very good.
And people have tried to grease them before.
Yeah, and that doesn't work either.
And that can damage them.
Yeah.
So if it hasn't got a grease nipple, don't grease it.
I think the problems that have been added in the past is they're sealed for life units, and they weren't greased in the factory.
No.
So that's why they didn't last more than 100 miles. So that's the Series 2 water pump. And now we're going to go even further back in time. Might not be on a Morris, but it's the same sort of pump. So let's go over to Eddie, our Austin. So here we are at our Austin 10 Cambridge from 1938, and strapped to the side of it is a Smith's auxiliary water pump. I know this is strapped to the side of a Cambridge, but you could have found them on MMs in the 1940s and 50s. It was an extra pump strapped onto the side of the MM to pump the water around. So here it is.
And it's mechanical, and it gets the power from the fan belt.
Yep.
So it runs off the fan belt.
So if I lift that up, because it's held onto the fan belt with a spring on a loose bracket there, so you can see that's not tight, it's loose. And I can move the pulley by hand there, see. And that's what drives it. And now I know this one's gone because there's a bit of wiggle in there. And if I give it a spin a minute.
Yeah, it's pouring water out.
It's piddling water
And
out.
what it's doing at the moment is spraying water onto the engine and electrics, so we need to replace it. Can you replace it? No.
No.
So the 2 options are to have it refurbished, which is what we're trying to do, or to take it off and to join the pipes up as they would have been originally. You want to show how they would have been originally?
Yeah, so this worked on thermosiphon. So the heat from the engine block heated the water rose into the header tank and then dropped down when it cooled into the radiator and was cooled, and then the cycle carried on. So this lower pipe, would have been connected to this point up here, and this pump wouldn't have been there. So that's how it would have been fitted. So hopefully, well, this is a way. I'm going to take that pipe and reconnect it up there if there's enough slack. Yeah, there is. And as you can see, these have been replaced. This is all new pipes. That's lovely.
They're incredibly rare.
These pumps,
yeah,
hen's teeth. Yeah, set your price. If you've got one lying around in your workshop and you know it's a good one, they're worth a lot of money. So there we go. And that's water pumps on your Morris or Austin.
Okay, so John's just going to start the engine and you'll be able to just see. There it is. So it gets its power by being joined to the fan belt there. And that's how it runs.